These salted caramel brownies are fudgy, chewy, rich and gooey. Also the perfect mix of sweet and salty. Everything you could ever ask for from a brownie. Welcome to Recipes by Carina, where I share with you how to make classic and simply delicious recipes. Make sure to subscribe for a new video each week. I'm partnering with Skillshare for this recipe to help answer a few common questions I get, mostly around my camera and how I film my videos. For those of you that don't know, Skillshare is an online community where you can learn and try new skills. They have over 25,000 classes that cover all sorts of topics, like photography, video, editing, and of course cooking. Premium membership for around $10 a month gives you unlimited access so you can join the classes and communities that are just right for you and your New Year's goals. There are a few great courses that I've used and I would highly recommend, especially this one for beginners that will teach you all of the basics when it comes to a DSLR camera. As you can see by this footage, a few different camera settings and you'll get a completely different shot. They're giving 500 of my subscribers a free 2-month trial. All you have to do is use my link in the description box below. Whether you want to fuel your curiosity, creativity, or even career, Skillshare is the perfect place to keep you learning and thriving in 2019. To get started on these brownies, you'll need some salted caramel sauce. I've got a recipe video on how you can make your own, but I'll also have the written recipe in the description box below. It's incredibly easy and only requires 4 ingredients, but if you would prefer, you can also buy ready-made. I prefer salted caramel to regular caramel here, as it helps cut through the sweetness of the brownies. If your caramel sauce isn't salted, start by adding a teaspoon of flaky salt and mixing that in. Give it a taste test, and if you want it saltier, add a little more. If you've made your own salted caramel sauce like I have, it'll last in the fridge for a couple of weeks, so just place any leftover you have from this recipe in an airtight container. For the brownies, in a heat-proof bowl, add in your butter. I've cubed it up just so it'll melt easier, but it really doesn't matter if you get it straight out of the fridge. You'll need 1 cup, 2 sticks or 225 grams worth, which may seem like a lot, but that's the secret to getting the best brownies. They need a lot of fat. Add the butter to the bowl followed by the chocolate. I recommend dark chocolate here, mine is 50%, but 70 would work just as well. Use a good quality chocolate, one that you would eat by itself, not one marked for baking. The quality and flavours just don't compare. Place the bowl over a simmering pot of water and stir occasionally until the butter and chocolate have melted. You'll notice I give the recipe amount in metric and imperial, so no matter where you're from in the world, it should be easy enough to follow. If you'd like the full recipe for these salted caramel brownies, it will be in the description box below, as well as the printable recipe on my website. I also have a section which links all of my favourite kitchen equipment, so if you're ever looking for something you see in my recipe videos, you should find it there. Measure out 400 grams or 2 cups of white sugar and add it to the hot melted butter and chocolate. Give it a stir and the sugar should start to dissolve a little. Leave it for a few minutes just to cool down before we start adding the eggs, as we don't want those to scramble. You'll need 3 medium room temperature eggs for this recipe. Add them one at a time, giving the brownie batter a really good mix in between each addition, just to make sure each egg is fully incorporated. I'll usually switch to a whisk at this point, as it works so much faster. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever made my chocolate brownies before. They're a great classic, but I think salted caramel brownies might just be my favourite. These just have that added touch of flavour, and the salty sweet combo just works perfectly. By the third egg, your batter should have thickened up quite a bit and become very glossy. At this point, add a teaspoon of vanilla essence or extract. I'll always add this to chocolate flavoured baked goods as it really enhances the flavour. Give it another stir and remove the whisk before adding the dry ingredients. You'll need 1 cup or 125 grams of flour for these brownies. Not too much, as we want them to have that fudgy texture. Adding more will just turn them into a chocolate cake. Measure out your flour and pour it into the bowl. I don't find there's any need to sieve it, but you can if you prefer. Use a wooden spoon to fold the brownie batter together until you have incorporated all of the flour. Be careful not to overmix here, as we don't want to turn them tough. Just stop as soon as you no longer see any dry flour. At this point, you can also add in any extras like chocolate chips, nuts, or even dried or frozen fruit. I'm going to leave these as is and let the salted caramel shine through, but I also think they work great with chocolate chunks. Pour your brownie batter into a square lined and greased tin and use the back of the spoon to spread it out to the edges. Take your salted caramel sauce, make sure it's at the right consistency, spoonable so not straight out of the fridge, but also not pourable either, or else it'll just absorb into the brownie batter while baking. I recommend taking it out of the fridge an hour or so before you're going to use it. Spoon the sauce over the brownie. You don't need to be careful here at all. We'll need about 1/3 of a cup's worth. Once you have enough sauce, take a toothpick and start to swirl it around, incorporating the brownie and caramel sauce together. You don't want to completely mix, but just spread it around. Bake your brownie in a 180°C or 350°F oven for 35 to 40 minutes, or until the top has cracked and the caramel is bubbling. Leave it to cool completely if you want pretty slices, or serve it warm with more salted caramel sauce. I would love to see a picture if you do make these salted caramel brownies. Thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe for more delicious baking, and I will see you on my next video.